Welcome back, Wheellessness. George and Josh here, rocking episode 28. Just for you guys that don't know, we spin a randomizer wheel, and it gets to choose what game we play. So we don't get to pick which games. Most times, more than not, we get a
shit stick,
or a game we've never heard of, and I've never heard of Space Megaforce. Apparently, I'm probably in a minority on that. I don't think you had it either, Josh.
No,
you did predict it when you were wanting an airplane game or something like that. So, season 2 here, episode 28, we're winding down. So you want to hear what the back of the Space Megaforce box has for us, Josh?
Yeah.
A super mid-air battle. Do you want to experience a high-speed shooting packed with excitement? Question mark. Who put a question mark on the teleprompter? Space Megaforce. The game's thrilling speed is its most attractive feature. The enemy movements are fast. Your shot are fast, and you shoot the enemy's shots are fast. Finally, the scrolling is fast. The screen is filled with battle action that just overflows with high-speed shooting excitement. On top of that, there is shot control system operation with the R button. You can attack the enemy in a multitude of ways with a weapon using this system. Naturally, the features of the Super NES, such as rotation, enlarging, and shrinking functions, are used to the fullest, and huge enemies never before possible are packed into this exciting mega game. So, kind of a weird back of the box.
It's a very weird back of the box.
Which, there wasn't a whole lot of boxes I've seen out there, so that's what we're going to go with. I'm not sure if I read a reprinted one or not, because it was a little strange, the back of the box. So, just kind of go in this. This game released back in 92. So it was developed by Compile. Never heard of Compile.
Nope.
Basically, they focused on some shoot 'em up games. And yeah, it's what it is. Toho published it. I think we've played a Toho game as well. I'm going to butcher these names, but it was designed by, I'm just going to go with last names, Hirano, composed by Takuchi, Inosuke Nagao, Tanaka, and this is actually a part of a Japanese game. It's kind of a series in Japan, and we're going to save some of that for the fun facts of the series and a little bit about it that's different. So it went by a different name in Japan, but for over here it's Space Megaforce. So basically this game is... the first game that I think of that it reminds me of is like the old school NES. Was it like 1947, where you're the airplane, or like a Galaga or something where you're shooting enemies, but you can move up and down. It really did remind me a lot like of Jackal too, even though Jackal on NES you were driving a Jeep. But it's basically a vertical scrolling shooter. And, the screen comes down toward you. You can move all the way up to the top of the screen. You can move all the way to the bottom. That's one of the things that's kind of cool about it. You're not really fixed in one spot. Like most...
You got your left and right.
Yeah, most games will have, like, where you can move left and right, but you can't move up and down. And basically, to dumb it down to where I can understand it, of the plot that is behind this... Because you do get some photos when the game starts up, but you don't really get a whole lot into it. So the plot is, it's like 2048. This big sphere comes down and starts attacking the cities of the world. Shit's getting blown up. And this sphere, this ball, starts sucking all the power from the earth and jungle and all that crap. So kind of like Independence Day, it's got its own defense system, basically. So... you can't really attack it. It's just kind of wreaking havoc. And they used a failed spawn of one of the fighters to make a new fighter, and basically gave it some super duper weapons, as I marked it down, which is the ship that you have.
Yep.
And
they let a human pilot it.
And basically, you're just flying the ship. You're the only damn dude. It's you versus the world.
You're Will Smith.
You are. Well, I was thinking like damn old Quaid that flew up into the ship in Independence Day.
Yeah.
Like, bet you Will Smith too, I guess. Some of the gameplay, you get 8 weapons, which can all be powered up, I think, to 6th level.
6th level.
You get these eggs. I think you get orange eggs as like a partial power up, a green egg. is or an orb, whatever you're gonna call it. To me, they look like eggs. The green ones are an automatic power up. You can there's basically a shot control button on every one of the weapons that you get, and if you take damage, your weapon powers down. Basically, if your weapon hits entry level, you die. But some of the weapons that you can use, and don't let me forget, because there's like 8 weapons. You basically got your normal shot, you got your missiles, you've got your multi-directional, you got your laser, you've got your circles, you got the ones where you got the drones. I don't know what the hell they call them. What am I missing, Josh? You got your spread shot.
And you got your special.
And like your bomb.
No, the one that you hold the button and you're playing charge.
Oh, power. The power shot.
Yeah, the power shot.
Yes.
Because that was a power-up that you got.
Yes.
I don't remember which one. I think it had an S, maybe?
I think it was PWR, the one that would shoot the big green beam that would charge up.
It could have been.
I think SPD was the one where you got the drones. There was a lot of power-ups, needless to say, in this freaking game.
There was.
And there was a lot of them that I didn't necessarily know what the hell the power-up was, but I knew it was something I either wanted or didn't.
Yeah.
You know? And we'll go in, I think, probably a little bit later into the gameplay, probably what your favorite power-up was and which one pissed you off the most. So really, that's kind of the whole build-up to the game. You've got a shoot button that you can hold down. It just spams the shot. And when you hit the R button to the special shot, it'll deviate in some way, whether it's shooting single shot or a double shot. Everyone has its own specific move.
Alternate.
Yes. And, of course, some of them are better than others. And then, you've got the L button, pauses, as well as the start button. You've got B for your bomb. And there really ain't a whole lot of controls you really need in here. You just need controls to be pretty taut. And it just puts you, it's just a shooter, man.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's a flat shooter.
It doesn't use all the buttons, but I don't think you had to use all the buttons.
No.
So, is there anything that I've missed here that you want to add here, Joshua?
No, I think you covered the beginnings of it. So, I mean, I'm ready to dive into what makes it embrace it.
So, this is our first shooter style game, and I'm not going to say this is, I say it seems like I say this every week. This ain't my style of game. This is more, I don't crave games like this, but I find them fun when I play them.
They're entertaining.
Yes. So that is one thing that is, kind of nice having a shooter. This is like a game that we've never played. And I'm going to go ahead and start. First thing I like with the startup of to make the game is when it starts up, it kind of gives you some generic little screens that don't really mean a whole lot. I mean, they're not poorly animated. I mean, like I say, this is a 1992 game, but when the game starts up, and
those pixels were crisp.
Yeah, well, when that plane flies by, and then it comes up and it goes, Space Megaforce.
Solid intro.
And I'm like, yes.
Number one.
Yes, I like that. Even though it didn't tell you shit about the game, and neither, I bet you didn't know what the plot of this game was, Josh, and you didn't really need to know it.
Nope.
Because
all I knew was fly plane, shoot bad guys, collect power-ups, take out boss at end of stage. That's all you needed.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, it's basically, it ain't like Star Fox where you're shooting Slippy by accident. By God, you see something, you shoot that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't in that damn cockpit, you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
There's no such thing as friendly fire on this thing.
Another thing that I'm going to say was really good right off the bat is we're going to jump into music and controls. The controls were pretty sharp. And I can tell you, there is a fuck ton of enemies in this goddamn game.
There is.
So you have to have crisp controls. And so I don't think that there was
pixel dodging, pixel peeking, like it was crazy at what you had to do.
I would not say that one time I got pissed off playing this game because, you're going to die. That's all there is. And when you
live, die, repeat.
Yeah, that is the truth. I never once, I don't think, said, oh, this is bullshit. I died. These damn controls. No, it was like, dear God, how the fuck am I supposed to get through here? Because, the controls were really good off.
Yeah.
I have one beef with the control, and I've got it in my brakes section, and I don't know that it's necessarily bad, but it was weird.
But I know what my biggest beef for the control being the bad part.
Well, you gonna save it for break it?
It's something stupid.
What's that?
L button pause.
I've got that. We're coming back to this. We're going back to this in the break it, Josh.
Okay.
And the music was pretty damn good.
Awesome was great.
I don't know what you would say. What does shooter music, vertical shooter music sound like?
But that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And there was never one time that I said, this fucking music is killing me. And a lot of times I didn't really notice it. And that just means it was good. I mean, I was enthralled in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, you had to have some laser effing focus to play this game. So I'm not over here jamming out, smiling, like, hey, sending a text. Like, no, I'm like, son of a bitch.
You
Am I getting
locked
past
in.
it? Yeah, you had to.
You locked in.
You were like you in that damn cockpit,
Yeah.
And I feel like if I was fighting in that cockpit, I want that music playing. I like the music. I like the controls. I thought they were like really fucking good, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was solid. The music was so good. It matched. And it even matched to different levels, too. Because the music does change a little bit.
And I've got to put this part in the make it. I'm kind of ad-libbing on this. The level, there was, even though it's a vertical shooter, you're kind of limited on what you can do. You're shooting up and down, but every stage did have a unique feel to it.
It did.
Like, there was a few stages in space that seemed a little bit the same, but you're in freaking space,
Space is empty.
Yeah. So, but like, there was a lot, even down to the final stage, you could tell that was the final stage.
Yeah.
And I do have...
the final stage was fucking difficult.
Well, let's just go ahead and say this. I wish... I'm not putting this in the break it, but I wish there was a goddamn ship count of what you killed and how many times you died.
Recap?
Yes,
Yeah,
like
give
at
me
the
a
end of each
recap.
stage, it'd be like if you said you shit wrecked, I'm going overboard when I say 2,000. If it says you killed 436 ships, I would believe it because there is a ton.
And if you said that, your plane blew up, you hit continue 9 times.
Yes,
Dude, I'm like, fair enough, well played game.
So this game had so much going on, and the levels were almost interactive, you would say. But one thing I would say,
The levels gave you depth, I personally thought.
Well, one thing I do think was great because, God, this game it was tough. I will say that it wasn't like
It wasn't an easy game.
It wasn't like, hey, this is so tough, I don't want to play it. But you're not like coming through here going to speedrun Mario 1, like just kind of casually nonchalant. No, you're going to bust your ass on a speed
you're
run.
working on it.
You bust your ass just get through a level. That's just a speed run. But they did have a checkpoint system, even though I felt like sometimes they could have put an extra fucking checkpoint in there because sometimes it was just like, dear God, but then, not only did you have an unlimited checkpoint system, you had unlimited continues.
Yeah.
And it was even, one more to that. You could actually start your game. You could continue from that checkpoint.
Yep.
Or continue from the
Beginning.
beginning. Because I think when you died, if I'm not mistaken, because it happens so often, it's a blur. I believe whatever power-up you ended up with is what you started out with. And I've got some more stuff in the power-ups I want to talk about on the make it and the break it side. But if you felt like you kind of got yourself in a spot and you didn't have the right power-up, then you could start over. I don't know why you really wanted to, but you could. But yeah, I did like that. It wasn't like Time Slip where it was tough, but there was no continues. Like, yeah, you die.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes in. I mean, all this kind of ties in. I've got another part that goes in with that on Make It. That I'll just go ahead and jump into, I guess, is it was fun to play with a friend. Now, I didn't get to play this game with you, but I powered through this game, and a coworker came over, and he's a Super Nintendo fan, and we sat there, and he said, "What are you playing?" I said, "Here, get you some of this." And man, I was on level 7, I think it was, and man, it was shit wrecking. I mean, I was getting shit wrecked too.
Yeah.
But him coming in and never playing this game.
But you already had a feeling.
Oh yeah, it was so much more funny watching him die than it being me die.
Yeah.
And so
because you already had sort of the patterns coming out, because I mean that's all this game is. It's pattern recognition.
I think he's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot this stuff as it comes on. I don't think he was expecting the whole fucking world trying to kill you.
Here comes a massive fleet of 1 million enemies.
Like I'm like, hey, why shoot these bombs? He's like, what? What's bombs? Like it was immediate. Like he was like, I fucked up. But it was so fun though that we actually played it, and then we went and ate dinner, and then we came back and it's like, let's beat this motherfucker, and that's what we did. We sat there, but it was having unlimited continues. It was just like, okay, we'll play through continue, toss the controller over, play through a continue,
and when he
got me through stage 7, I think, which was incredibly tough for me. We literally jumped up, high-fived. And then we got hung up on like stage 9. I beat it. He dropped a big fuck yeah out. Like Allie's reading a book in the other room or in the library, and she's like, "Can you just please shut up?" And we're like, "You don't know shit. You don't know what we're doing. We're saving the.
You don't know the struggle that we're going through right now."
So it was really fun, even though it's just a 1-player game. It was fun. It was easy to share. The way the game was set up, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very difficult game, but it didn't seem like it was unobtainable because of the continues and the lives.
Yeah, I played this on my emulator, so it was it was entertaining. I will say this, on my emulator, I have a toggle that I can turn on and cheat at will.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I had to use it on one stage.
Which one?
Number 4.
I'm trying to think of what number 4 was.
If I'm not mistaken, number 4 is right before you go into space.
Okay. Well, the one that really...
And the reason why is I kept getting bad rolls on my power-up. Mm-hmm. So I got tired of it and turned on pretty much God mode for a second. Beat the level, turned it off.
Well, when we were playing, after like we got to like stage 10... my friend, he said, don't you have a rewind or something turned on? I was like, no. He's like, it'd be a lot easier if it did. And I was like, I'm sure it would be a lot fucking easier, but we're not turning rewind on. Like,
we're not a bitch.
Yeah, it's like, we got through 10 stages. It's like, you take your ass across 8 Mile because we ain't doing that shit. And about 20 minutes later, I was like, that probably ain't a bad idea. But, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. So, I will say that, kind of piggyback on what you said about you had a bad power-up. You never really had to look too hard for power-ups, I guess. I mean, there was a lot of power-ups, and there was a lot of options to it. So, if you got a power-up that you didn't like, it was pretty easy to find another power-up to use. But you never knew what you were going to get, like, if it wasn't powered up. Like, and I guess to go into the power-ups, one thing that I do like is I think some of the power-ups complimented themselves. Yeah. Because there was some power-ups I absolutely freaking hated.
Yep.
But on certain stages, they were the GOAT.
Yeah, they were what worked.
Like, I wasn't a big fan of the laser, but when you played that damn cube, it had the 4 things swinging around it. Perfect. You had to have a damn laser to beat that son of a bitch.
It melted.
I personally, my favorite one out of all of them, I mean, I like the missiles quite a bit. I like the circles. I love the circles.
The circles kept you alive.
When I'd get in one of them places where they're all over the damn place, and I'd have them big circles just going out. Like, I could be like navigating through a maze of shit, and it's just shit wrecking.
Yeah, it's destroying.
Now, but at the same time, circles wasn't the greatest on every level, or you would have something like the laser shot. Or even the power shot. The power shot was probably my least favorite out of all of them.
Yeah.
But if you powered it all the way up, it was pretty fucking devastating. Yeah. But power shot at low levels sucked.
Was terrible.
Circles sucked at that. Yeah. Missiles I thought was really good at lower levels. Sometimes at bigger levels it wasn't. I did like the one where you had your little green drones that went with you too for boss fights. You could fuck a boss.
Yeah, those drones were amazing on boss fights. The circles I absolutely love. Like I said, full-powered circles, they shit-wrecked everything. They protected you from incoming damage if the circle was happening to be right there lined up.
And you could actually freeze the circle with your secondary move.
Yeah.
And you could, like, literally just leave it on something. Now, I was constantly in a state of panic.
Yeah, no, I hit the button by accident, and I'm like, how do I turn this? Like, I had to pause the game for a second, and I'm like, I was sitting out there, what buttons did I hit?
Did you pause it with the start button or the L button?
The start button.
Well, the bad part though is you'd have them circles and they'd be so devastating. And if you did get hit by something, then you got down to one circle and it's like, oh Lord, like we're in bad shape.
Jesus,
right
take the wheel.
Now, and another thing I will say though is you get 3 bombs to start.
Yep.
And you pick up bombs, and bombs aren't plentiful, but you can find bomb power ups in probably every stage. And there's 2 things I'll say about the bombs that was awesome. Number 1, when you died, whether you respawn immediately or you had to start over, you got new bombs. So if you respawn immediately, you got 3 new bombs right there.
Yep.
Which came in clutch on some boss fights
Yep.
if you got there. And the other part that I like is because I'm the type of guy that I'll try to farm my bombs, save them all up, and just kill, like Star Fox. You can save all them Nova bombs till you get to the end.
And then
By
just
God,
spam them.
you're using your damn bombs.
Yeah,
you
you
get
are.
a bomb, you're using that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It ain't like, oh no, I've got 3 of them. I'm going to use them on the boss. It'll be like, fuck, I got to get to the next checkpoint. It wasn't like saving to the boss. It's like, I'm spamming this shit to try to get to the checkpoint.
The only time I spam my bombs is if I had my power-ups going and I went down to level 1 power-up. I'm like, oh, hell no.
There was just something, especially when you're getting like up in the level 10 where, you know, shit shooting, you got lasers, all that shit. Sometimes there's shrapnel coming everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck, there ain't no choice
Hit
but
the
to
bomb.
drop a bomb and pray to God where are these eggs going to pop out that you're going to pick up as power.
And what was also really great about the bomb is it was an entire, I guess, I don't want to call it stage killer, but screen killer.
Yeah, and even if it hadn't got to that corner of the screen and you were about to get hit, it did not give you the damage.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes into is as much shit is trying to kill you in this game. Now, we're not just saying, hey, it's ships trying to shoot you. There's shrapnel. There's all kinds of shit.
There's turrets.
There you can get trapped by the stage as it comes down. That one stage got me like 3 times because I kept getting too greedy. Like down toward the end where it was just like a speed run. You were picking.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch, why am I dying? There's like not even an enemy until the end of this stage. But
you know what it was?
What?
You're racing the clock. You're like, I can do this. I can get this done faster.
Right. And but you were able to shoot most of the bullets and projectiles that was shot at you. So there was sometimes on a boss fight where I'd struggle, but then I'd get in there with like my drones, and man, we'd just be machine gunning this thing like it would try to shoot out, and it just couldn't get nothing out because we were blowing it up.
The drone max level boss fight is you shooting with like 4 or 5 drones.
Now the bad part is if you get into one of them spots where it's like barely moving around and people they're shooting from all corners. Yeah, them drones suck at that point.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're only going to shoot straight ahead.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Multi-directional was the other one. That was my least favorite. I did not like multi-directional.
I did
just because I don't want to steer toward what the shit I'm trying to get the hell away from to shoot.
Yeah, that was my least favorite too. Because like you're shooting and you're fine, but if you hit left, right, you would shoot out a burst of death orbs that went across the entire thing. I hated it. Honestly, I think that one and the lasers were my least 2 favorite, personally.
Another thing that I think, and I'll put this, I probably should have started at the beginning. You know, you start the normal game, but they also have a condensed version of the game.
Yeah.
To me, it didn't really matter a whole lot. I didn't want to play the condensed version, but the game is pretty long. So if you ain't got a whole lot of time, I could understand why you would hammer out the condensed version.
Yeah.
So at least you had some play options, and there was quite a few options in there. I played it on normal. I did not know they had like damn hyper and crazy. I can only imagine.
I didn't even touch it.
I can only imagine how nutso that is.
I kind of want to test that theory, but I'm terrified.
Yeah, I'm not testing that theory. I've got 2 more things that I want to add, Josh. And the one thing is some of these stages were pretty fucking hard. And I bet that I played several of these stages. I probably played them 40 times trying to get through.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes I would make it straight through to the boss, no problem.
And then the boss destroys
Yeah,
you.
and then sometimes I couldn't even get to the boss. When my buddy came over last night, I basically told him, I was like, don't freak out when you get to the boss. Like, literally don't worry about damaging the boss until you figure out what his pattern is. Because there was nothing more frustrating. Because it might be another 30 minutes before you get there. But it seems like this game, and I guess these two are my best make-its, is the stages that were incredibly hard. It seemed like the next stage after that, you were kind of rewarded with an easy level.
Yeah.
Or like a decently, like
Yeah.
it was not this, it wasn't like it just kept running you in the ground. Like it'd run you in the ground for a stage, and then the next stage seemed to be a lot easier.
It felt like it was like almost every 3 levels.
Maybe it was easier
difficult.
because you just went through that god awful level, how difficult it was, or the kind of and not every stage had a boss. Sometimes it was kind of like you was fighting a boss throughout the stage. That part was kind of weird, but probably my favorite thing, and I'd say this game had a perfect mix of a good game mixed with luck and perseverance.
Yeah.
Because I can bet that there's some people incredibly good at this game that can whip through it. I was not incredibly good, but I was luck and perseverance. So I could understand. I could tip my hat to somebody that was like, eat, drink, breathe this game.
Yeah.
But there was several bosses I beat just getting there. It was dumb luck. And it was like, as long as I keep playing this game, I'll eventually beat this level.
Yeah.
It was never like, hey, it's completely unattainable. But it was just like, there were certain areas to get past seemed unattainable. And all you had to do was get past it.
Just get lucky one time.
And so, like, I wasn't great at this game, but I have a feeling that anybody that can play this game, as long as you have the time to devote to play it, you will beat this game.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just unbeatable.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but as long as you use all your continues and your checkpoints, you will beat this game as long as you spend the time to do it.
My last one for the make it is I love the different variations of the bosses. Each one of them felt different, looked different, different attack pattern. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
You're right, but let me just throw a spoiler alert in here. What do you think the last boss looked like?
I honestly can't remember.
It was like a big uterus to me.
Oh,
I was like,
right.
it straight up looks like a damn uterus right here. I was like,
I beat this game last week and I haven't touched it since.
Okay. All right. So, do you have anything else you want to add into this?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, let's jump on over into the break it. I've got this one, question mark. Is there too many stages? Because this is a long fucking game. I mean, and the speed run is going to show how long this game is. So, I mean, it took me several days to beat this. Is there too many stages? I kind of felt like there probably was. I enjoyed them as I played them. But I feel like you either, the condensed version was way too short, and I think the normal version was probably a little long. But I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it was great for it. I think it overstayed its welcome slightly, I feel like.
Well, here's my downfall with it is I've played multiple variations. I want to say variations of this game because there's another one that's out that's sort of like this game, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Geometry Wars.
Okay.
And that is a seizure waiting to happen if you ever look at it.
Okay, I've seen it before, but I've never played it.
And it's made, I think, by something similar to this company. Is these type of games are designed to be long, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Because that's just the way that style of gaming is supposed to be made. Because this was made in Japan. And Japan's really big about making a solid game last a little ways.
Well, and I think it may be just me because I had to play several stages over and over.
Oh, I did too. Like I personally, I think it was too long.
And another thing, and there's a lot that I'm going to say is like my biggest break it with this thing. But there's a lot of them. There's several things that I think could have made this way better. But I'm just going to go ahead, and this is going to go hand in hand. There is too much going on the goddamn screen. Like, there is a lot of shit. Like, okay, throw all these enemies at me. That's cool. Throw these damn asteroids or whatever at me. Yeah. That's fine. But when the sides of the ship starts exploding and killing you, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's too much. I get it when and then, so, and it's not just the enemies. There's a lot going on in the background, too. And a lot of the background design is pretty cool. But when you mix some of this up, there's just so much going on the screen. I wouldn't call it a seizure waiting to happen. But by God, you better not look away.
Yeah.
Because
don't get distracted by the background.
I don't know. I mean, there is a million times that I got killed, and I can tell you I have no idea what the hell killed me. Because I know it wasn't a legit shot. It may have been shrapnel. I mean, I'm sure I died. I mean, it's not like I felt like it did me dirty with it. But it's like, there's no way you can defend yourself against everything on that fucking screen at any time. And it's pretty intense off the get-go. Like off the get-go, you're like, there's a lot going on. But then
it gets a lot more cluttered.
They should have figured out how the fuck to not make me change power-ups every 3 seconds. Because I don't know how many times I'm over here just powered up, getting these damn circles, just dropping bombs on these motherfuckers. And next thing I know, oh shit, I can't do anything. Oh, I hit the multi-shot, or I hit the missile. And it's like, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
And that part pissed me off like no other. And it's like, give me an option to pick it up. Give me an option to choose. I mean, if anything, let me have that.
Yeah, here's the way.
I've got a solution for it all.
Okay, go ahead, because I have a solution.
Because number one, the two things that were really bad, I thought the button mapping on two of these things was bad. I did not like having my R button as my special. It wasn't bad. I didn't like having an L button as a pause. What the fuck is up with that? Like, why is your L button a pause?
Yep.
But you could have literally let me just hash this out. And this could just be me talking stupid. What if I'm sitting there with the circles and I accidentally pick up multi-directional shot? Shouldn't I have all these weapons in my arsenal at level 1 and let me toggle with the R and L to which one I want? So if I pick up multi-directional, I'm not screwed if I want my circles. But give me an option. Yeah, I hit multi-directional, level it up, but make me toggle.
Make you find
yes,
it. Make
like
you find
say you have all 8 power-ups to start with. But every time you pick one up, it levels it up. It just doesn't change your weapon. Because there were sometimes I'm just flowing through a stage and I hit the wrong damn power up, or I'm trying to get out of the way and I hit it, and then I'm doomed. And it's just like, there's no way I can get through the rest of this.
My option was this. Be sort of something like Mario. Super Mario World.
Okay.
Where you pick up the power up, and the other one that you have goes up to a little box.
Yeah, I can do it just doing a secondary.
Yeah, like a secondary, like a little filter.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you don't hit the button to change to it, like, say, X, say you click on it and you don't change to it, then the next one you get replaces the secondary over and over and over again. If you want to power it up, you got to switch to it and use it at the risk of losing your other one.
I feel like it was so aggravating because, I mean, there's a few times it was a blessing that I didn't know it, but there were several times I'm like, I'm happy with the weapon I got. I'm God moding through here. Nothing can touch me. Oh shit, I'm stuck in this damn little corner and I accidentally pick up a power up on something that's completely fucking useless at that point of the stage. Which I do appreciate that not every stage is made for every weapon.
Yep.
But God, stop force feeding me the weapons I don't want,
So I couldn't tell you how many times I avoided and pick up the multi-directional shot or the lasers.
So there was a few things in there that was confusing too. So there were certain times when you would get killed and you would restart immediately. And then there were certain times when you got killed and it would start you back at a checkpoint.
Yeah.
Sometimes trying to figure out what the hell you're doing is tough. So when you would start out like on a fresh continue, you would have your ship would have like your one up over there would be yellow. And so it's like, okay, I can understand that getting a yellow means I don't start back at the checkpoint. I just automatically respawn.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes I'd die and then it just kill me. Sometimes I would have 2 yellows back to back. I had no idea how the hell you got
no point system.
Yes.
No nothing to verify how it works.
Yeah, so it's just kind of random. And I'll go ahead and tell you, you didn't even look down at it. Like I would tell my buddy, and he would tell me, "Hey, make sure to use your bombs." And that was good because you could use your bombs. Then you died, automatically restart your 3 more bombs. So it'd be like, "Hey, if you're in a tough spot, just spam your bombs. You've got a yellow ship," which meant you could automatically respawn. How the hell you get yellow ship? I don't know. I'm sure there's probably a way to tell, but I couldn't fucking tell. And another thing I couldn't fucking tell is where the hell the checkpoints were.
Yeah, no, there was no indicator of that.
All you did was goddamn cross your fingers, hold your wieners, you die, you pray to God you hit a checkpoint.
Yep.
And sometimes them checkpoints was pretty damn far away, So that, just trying to figure out what the fuck you're doing from time to time was pretty difficult with this. There was a lot of confusion. Now, I think that's probably the way the game is. I bet if you're fighting a big sphere taking over the world, it's probably going to be a little confusing as well. But I don't know. They're just the background. The backgrounds. I don't know how many. Like, okay, I did enjoy them, but those damn backgrounds where you're fighting a damn spaceship, you don't know what the hell you can shoot. I don't know how many times I got pinned in a corner thinking I could blow something up. Like, sometimes the background you could fly over it, sometimes you couldn't. Oh dear God! And even the worst one for me that I hated the most was the one where it had the rocks, and then like the rock drillers would come out and drill.
Oh yeah,
I hated that.
That was a bitch.
But like, it was really bad on the spaceship ones. Trying to figure out what would block you and kill you. Like if it pushed you beyond the screen.
Yeah.
What is actually going to shoot you? What the fuck to do? Like, there was a lot going on.
Yeah. There need to be, I don't want to say indicator, but they need to be some type of indicator. You know, like just a faint outline behind an enemy or flash.
There was some of the backgrounds were so, I guess you'd call it intricate. Sometimes it was hard to tell. Is this something I'm supposed to shoot? Oh, this is going to kill me. Sometimes you just accidentally fly right through it. And it's like, what in the hell? Like, it's just like, but at the same time, this game was confusing the whole way through. But also, I mean, it was what it was from start to finish. So you just kind of shook your head and went, okay.
Yeah. Also at the same time, that I mean, I don't hate to say this because it just shows you that you got to give them props for being that dedicated to the design of those levels for it to happen like that. Yeah, it was them being an asshole, but at the same time, I can respect that a little bit.
So, one thing I absolutely just rubbed my ass raw is coming up in one of these spots and there being an enemy behind me and it shooting at me. And sometimes you'd get a laser or something that you could hit it, but dear God, is like,
the majority
there is 76 things on this screen trying to kill me. Do I really need a fucking laser turret shooting me from behind? There was several times though when you're trying to navigate through what I would call the tunnels, or like in some of the shrapnel of one of these spaceships, that it's like, how the hell am I supposed to kill that? Like, there's no way you can even get to that if you don't have the exact weapon. There's no way you can get to it.
Yeah. Then that was the thing, is that's what I was about to say is, yeah, sometimes it came in to the whole point of like, it had to be dumb luck on certain power-ups at certain times too. And then sometimes you get a bad roll. Sometimes you get 3 power-ups that you absolutely do not need.
Yes, that is correct. I died probably as many times by random shrapnel as I died trying to avoid a power-up I didn't want. And that part was pretty frustrating. I've only got one more thing that breaks the game, and I feel like this is a glaring part of it. But what else do you have on your heart before I hammer this one in to break this game right here?
The only thing I got left for this game on the break it side is, okay, this 100%. 110% is what broke this game for me. It was the whole bullshit of the what was that enemy? It was cross between stage layout and enemy. How you bitched and raved about the ship blowing up, that would hurt you. It was the ones where they were blocked. And they were immediately right after a barrier that you couldn't hit. It was like the turrets. I know there was a couple of turrets like that. There was a couple of planes that would take off and come up behind you.
Yeah.
Like, give me the option to fucking shoot them before I pass them. I died so many times to their bullshit that I kept missiles.
Missiles was the ultimate bullshit killer to start out with, because you could shoot them straight or hit I think by default was like heat seeker, and then you hit it R and then shoot straight. So let them fuckers eat. Just let them heat seek. Because if
hold the button.
Now at the later levels, they were still it was still decent, But man, if you got in a bad spot, you needed missiles to try to fight your way out.
Yeah,
because at a low level, that's all you fucking getting right there.
Yeah, and that was the bullshit part of it. Is like I said, that whole barrier of them guarding a turret, planes, whatever. Like the only way to hit them is if you had the multi-directional, or the circles,
and you could get in the right spot,
and the missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And the multi-directional one is like I said, you had to go up and fly towards them real quick and it shoot.
Yeah, it's like
it was the worst,
and it wasn't even that bad. Other than there was so much fucking going on that you could not like focus to do that.
Yeah,
like,
no, you're just hitting the button, moving around like fuck. I hope I hit something.
And there was I don't even know how many times I'm just like, let me steer up here as far as I can, hit the damn bomb button. That's all I know to do right there.
Yeah, but no, honestly, like I said, that was my biggest break. Is those enemies that were structurally hidden by, and I died.
The ones that were structurally hidden that shot like them lasers at an angle, them pissed me off so bad.
Like I said, I guarantee you, I died 100+ times just by them. Like I said, some of them were. I'm not like I said, some of them were bullshit because I didn't see the damage incoming to dodge it. But at the same time, I saw them. I seen them with my eyeballs.
I will tell you, this game, if you have a horrible periphery vision, you do not play this game.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have your damn eyes looking in two different directions at any time.
But I'm telling you, I see them and I go, well, shit. I could waste a bomb here, or I might get lucky since I don't have missiles.
I did get myself trained to where it was like, if I ever had to say, is this a spot to use a bomb? I just used the fucking bomb. Like, to me, it wasn't like, hey, let's get to the end of the stage, let's beat this game. It's, can I get to the next checkpoint?
Yeah.
I was like, it just like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. To me, this is what pissed me off the most, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Now, I did enjoy the game, but this isn't necessarily a style of game that I seek. So, I may be out of place. It's like talking about an RPG and not like a turn-based. Well, that's how a lot of that is. So I don't know if that's how this genre is. But for the love of God, can you give me a damn health meter or a shield meter?
Yeah!
For the love of God. I know when I get hit and my freaking power up goes down to level 1, I'm in bad shape. But then sometimes I get hit and I'm cool. Sometimes I get hit and I'm not. How about you let me just like take my freaking power up to half level and let me see the damage, even if it's just like 2 big circles, X over one you've been hit. Like, how the hell do you not have a health meter in this game? Like, or a shield meter? Like, give me the shield that's essentially your health. Once it's depleted, your next hit, you're dead. I could not stand. Now, at the same time, I don't know that I really had a whole lot of time to look for a health meter, like to check it. But like last hour, you have 2 people playing, or maybe your kid comes in there and you're like, Dad, you're about to die, or something like that. That's pretty helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I never knew when the hell I was going to die. I mean, I had a pretty good idea because I died several times. But it's just like, give me a freaking health meter.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard?
I agree.
That's all I got that breaks it for me, Josh. You got anything left on your heart with it?
No. Like I said, if I don't remember, I think there was a bar in the bottom right-hand corner, but I couldn't tell you if that was health or what, or it could have been progress level.
Yeah, I think down in the bottom it was something about what your power-up was and the level. At the same time, in the defense of it, if you gave me a shield or a power meter down there, I don't know that I had time to really look at it.
100% true.
But it would have felt a little bit cooler to know I could get hit 5 times before I died or something like that. I did feel like this game was pretty unforgiving on the deaths, but I'm done with it.
Still enjoyable.
Game is, that's all I got for Break It. I've got some fun facts that aren't too crazy. It's just a little bit about the Japanese version. I got price charting. We got speed runs, and I've got something else. We got to rank it. We're just going to see as we go through here. Oh, I got some reviews.
Oh, we got
I knew I had some reviews. So, this game went by a different title in Japan. I'll go ahead and tell you, you're going to have no idea what the hell it is. Because it ain't like...
It's like a caw boom boom.
Super duper mega Space Force or something like that. It's... I
want to guess. I want to guess what I think it should be called in Japan.
Okay. You tell me what it should be called in Japan.
I think it should be Shooty McShooterson.
No. Let me see here. Give me a second. Do you know what series this is based off of? This is the name of it.
I do not.
It starts with an A.
Absalon.
No, but that's a good guess. That's a lot better guess than I thought you'd give me, because the name of it, the series, was Aleste. Aleste.
Aleste.
So this one, that is the part of the series. So this was Super Aleste, which is kind of sounds weird, but so be it. It's cool. So there's a couple of different things with the Japanese versions, and I didn't really look on the American version. There may have been different endings for different difficulties, because there was in Japan. I cannot go back. I'll just go ahead and tell you, I've hit the pinnacle if I could beat this thing on the hardest level. Like, it was it was a challenge, and that's one thing you put in the good part. It was a challenge. But
if you beat this game on Maniac, whatever the top tier was, Inferno, whatever it was, I don't even know. If you beat this game on that level, sir, you are a king.
So there was more content in the Japanese versions. It has different art on the options in the game over screen in the Japanese version. The ending is longer, and it tells why the invasion started.
More after our soccer trophies.
Maybe, just like Kid Cleats. But every time you beat it on a harder level, it gives you more info.
Oh, okay. I do like that a lot.
Yes.
I do like that a lot.
Now,
would I ever achieve it? Absolutely not.
The levels and bosses are different. The voice samples are different, which I would put it in the
neutral.
There
was voice samples?
There was. Space, Megaforce. And there was times when you'd pick up a power-up and you would hear him say something. The voicing wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
I wasn't paying it.
Well, you had to zone in. There wasn't a whole lot of time.
Yeah, no, I was too busy trying to stay alive.
So, in the Japanese version, the pilot has a name. It's 3 letters, and
I was going to call him Kirishima, but okay.
It's 3 letters.
Asa.
It starts with R.
R. Ryu.
No, that's a good guess.
He's the only dude I know. He's the only dude I know with 3 letters from Capcom, and he's the Street Fighter guy. Ken. No. Ren.
No, I don't know. The pilot's name was Raz. I was going to try to tell you something about a berry, but you'd probably called him Dingle, for all I know.
You could have said the best Looney Tunes ever, Taz.
Well, I was trying to think Taz, but you're throwing names. I panicked, okay? I panicked, for God's sake. He had a co-pilot in the Japanese version, and her name was 3 letters as well. It starts with a T. And it's not Taz. It's not Raz and Taz.
I was about to say Taz. Starts with a T, 3 letters. T.
No.
T-E-A.
The first 2 letters are TH. You just got to put the 3rd letter in there.
The.
No.
Tho.
No. Keep going. Keep going. Use vowels. The. T-H-I. Yeah. The. The. I don't know. She was a mysterious young alien woman in the Japanese version, and she was a prisoner who could harness strange powers freed by the constant attacks against the sphere. Thea is supposed to fly with Raz and weaken the defenses of the sphere to get destroyed. So from the way it sounds to me, not following this game, is nobody can penetrate this thing. They've got this super prototype weapon, and they've got this alien that can kind of suck the power out of it, per se. Suck a power out of this big ball. Yeah. And weaken it enough to be shot. Raz and Tha, or Thea, was cut out of the American and European versions, and hence the original ending with it.
Because there was a love story.
So, what is the... okay, I get these mixed up, but you can tell me. What's the octopus anime stuff?
Hentai.
Okay, that's not that then. I was thinking...
There's tentacle hentai.
I was thinking tentacles when I sing this, and I cracked up because I knew you was going to... But it's not hentai. Okay. There is also a manga in Japan based off this series. I don't know if it's still ongoing.
Okay, if you would have said their version of the comic book, I would have said manga. I know that.
I know, but I don't know which one's the octopus or the tentacles. I don't know what the tentacle porn is.
You don't know what the porn is?
I thought it was the manga, and I was cracking up, and I'm like, oh my God. That's like because I felt like a tentacle was getting ran right up my ass the whole time I was playing.
It's an alien. What do you expect? That's what they use, isn't it?
You're not wrong. I guess if you decide you're going to do that, you shouldn't be surprised by it. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Watch Galaxy Quest.
I've never seen Galaxy Quest. Is that the one with Tim Allen?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm going to have to check it out. We're talking tentacles now. Okay, so that's pretty much the fun facts I have. And this was...
So with no names for the English and European co-pilot?
No, they were cut out. You're just the
pilot. You're just the pilot.
So this is...
I'm naming him Taz.
From what I gather, this is pretty popular in Japan. It's a big series. It's a classic series. I think we kind of got the watered-down version of it. Yeah. And it's, I feel like, pretty highly regarded in Japan and here. They just put in a better story with it. And I ain't mad at that. I kind of wish we had a little bit of that. I was fine playing the game, and then I read that, and I was like, it'd been kind of cool.
Yeah, have a little narrative that you read in between each mission, or right before starting,
even if you would have just gave us Raz or Taz, and just so you can see this bad motherfucker. Like, it comes out at the start, and it comes through Super Space Force, and it's like, you're our only hope. And you just put a face. Like Mega Man. You just put a face.
Well, he had a face. You saw the...
Yeah. But you didn't really have... That was it, pretty much. Yeah. You didn't see him again.
Yeah, you didn't. It was just one time.
So I feel like you could have not even really had to put character building, just something that you could kind of associate yourself with. But, yeah. It still wasn't a bad game.
No.
All right. So I got 2 reviews. 2 of them, a British TV show rated Super Eleste. So you got the full version with Raz and Thee in it. The TV show's name was Bad Influence. They rated it a 10 of 10.
Oh!
In 1997. So this is going to be interesting.
So that was 5 years after it was released?
Well, that I don't know what year it was. It was probably when it was released. But in 1997, another video game magazine reviewed it, which I may have in there. Electronic Gaming Monthly. You know what? We're going to probably have to break out some of these and do an episode of just reading through some of my damn old Electronic Gamely and Nintendo Powers and stuff in there.
Dude,
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it.
Dude, I still want to do a podcast where I loosely give you clues of movies from the top 5 from past years.
We may have some bonus episodes coming up. Maybe a Patreon down the road, but either way. In 1997, Electronic Gaming Monthly ranked this in their best video game consoles of all time. So 5 years after it was released, Electronic Gaming Monthly ranked it 46 of best console video games of all time. Now, mind you, keep in mind, I don't think Star Fox and stuff was out, but it's different. So I don't know that you would say one was really better than the other, but there's a lot of game. No, in 97, Star Fox was out.
Yeah.
And now they may have had Star Fox up there, but we're talking this is Electronic Gaming. We're talking PC games. We're talking Segas, Nintendos, and that's pretty bold.
That's bold.
So Josh, just to put that in there, do you know where it ranks on the IGN top 100 list that I've got over here that I use?
It's on the IGN list?
Would you think it's on there?
I would think so, yeah.
It's not.
What?
IGN has snubbed it. Now, I've seen that several people said that this might be the best shooter. And even our good friend that we follow, SNES Drunk, I think says this might even be a top 25 game from his call.
You call him a friend like we know him.
We do not know him. We watch him and respect him.
Yeah. But if you listen to us, please reach out.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he don't, but he's pretty much the go to some SNES games, and he loves this game.
Yeah.
And I can understand why, but I just find it very weird that one says, hey, it's a top 50 game. A guy that knows his SNES games, like the back of his hand, says this might be a top 25.
And IGN.
Maybe a top number 1 of its genre. And I feel like you're probably right of its genre. Yeah. And if it's the best of its genre, it deserves a spot in the top 100. IGN says, hell no. Hell no.
Hell to the no.
So I thought them were 2 pretty good reviews. So both of them are glowing reviews. A 10 of 10.
Yeah.
46 best console game. Console, I guess it isn't going to cover the computer games. But regardless.
Still at the time, the way I would recommend a console game, I mean, even handhelds at the time.
Right?
Handheld consoles.
I would too. And I mean, it sounds like there's not a lot there, but I mean, to say it's the 46th best Super Nintendo game is in pretty elite company. I mean, even to be in the top 100. But when you're not just talking about Mario, you're talking Sonic, you're talking Mega Man, you're talking Final Fantasies. Like, they're 46. You hit 46 pretty damn quick.
Yeah, I mean, and that was also during a time frame like
there was a lot of banger games out. Maybe they weren't appreciated.
Yeah, like I mean, just on the like Game Boy at the time, you had Pokemon coming out during that time frame too. Pokemon came out in I think '95.
If you took the Pokemon color versions, you took your Marios and you took your Zeldas and you took your freaking Sonics, you probably covered 40 games right there.
Easy.
I mean, there's a lot of games out of that.
Easy.
Now, okay, so we're gonna pivot, just like Ross. Let's do some speed run. We've got a guy who's a little new to the game, a USA guy.
Cool name?
Not really. So they got speed run, and this I think will show how long this game is. Let's just do the short version. They did the condensed version.
Okay.
Now they didn't have them on different difficulties. I don't think anybody has time for that. So even if you beat the game, Josh, or you say you beat it, I'm sure it took you a while. I couldn't even tell because I played it over several days.
Yeah.
Do you know what the speed run is on the condensed version? A guy came in second. The guy who owns the normal run, he came in second 4 months ago on the condensed version. He missed it by 3 seconds. So I feel like
God,
I've got to include both these guys.
Yeah.
So,
dude, okay.
This is condensed. I know you probably didn't play it.
I didn't, and I don't know how many levels it is.
I don't either, to be honest.
Dude, I'd have to say a solid 50 minutes.
The short version.
I'm going to say solid 50.
The short version is owned by a guy or gal named Sidorino. Sidarino. When I hear Sidorino, I think of Sid off Ice Age, and I would call him Sidorino if I seen him. I feel like that's the first thing I associate.
Yeah.
He beat it 3 years ago. Okay. He owns the speed run with 7 minutes and 46 seconds. 7 minutes and 46 seconds.
Okay, then
that's condensed version. Now this guy he owns the normal version, his name's Andren. Andren from USA, I believe. 4 months ago.
Wait, what?
Andren. Andren.
Yeah, Andren.
4 months ago. So that this has been sitting there for 3 years. That speed run on condensed. There 3 years.
Yeah.
4 months ago, somebody says player 2's entered the chat.
Okay.
He comes in. He misses it by 3 seconds. He completes it in 7 minutes, 49 seconds.
Ooh.
There ain't nothing to worry because he's got the main. He's got the full.
He needs both.
I do agree.
He needs both.
But, I just go ahead and tell you, I've not played the condensed version that much. I wonder if we timed it. If we go up there 7 minutes, I have a feeling it's going to take us way longer than 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a Japanese guy who held this for 2 years. And then Andren came in 2 months ago and beat him.
Okay.
So I'm going to just go ahead and jump in. I'm going to give props to our guy from Japan. His name is Teleo1.
Lock it.
Teleo number 1.
Lock it.
2 years ago, this is the full version. Do you know what he ran?
Well, since I grossly overestimated the condensed version, the
condensed version is super condensed.
Yeah, apparently. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say a solid 50 minutes.
He had this for basically 2 years almost. He ran it in 54 minutes and 48 seconds, which sounds like a big speed run. That is insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't...
If you haven't played this game, that's fucking crazy.
So Andren came in and beat him by over 20 seconds.
Wow.
2 months ago, Andren came in with 54 minutes, 26 seconds. Tip of the hat.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, too, I can see it. I can see having fun with this game and wanting to do that. I don't know how the hell you do that.
No.
So
I'm just happy that I beat it, even though I had to cheat on a level. But
you can say I'm cheating. I had 2 people playing. It was just kind of like I don't know. So let's go down to price charting, Josh, and it's all over the place.
Oh, I bet it is.
So I'd probably say you go with price charting just to be safe. Price charting in eBay. What do you think a loose copy of this runs?
I'll tell you what I'd pay for this.
What would you pay for it?
I'd pay a solid $20 for this game.
20,000?
No, absolutely.
$2,000 bills?
No, just $20.
Just $20. You're grossly low. Like, I almost threw up in the floor. You gave me such a low number.
What?
It's a big boy.
It's a big boy.
Well, let me just... If you want me to hint, I can tell you.
You already gave me a hint.
Wait.
You said grossly.
I actually wrote this down because this blew my fucking mind. I need to go through and look. If it helps you, I can tell you what a box and a manual sells for. Just the box and just the manual. Not together. If that helps you choose. Let me tell you the manual first.
Yeah.
The manual only, according to price charting, sells for $73.
Dear Jesus.
So, just take that. That's just a piece of that's just an instruction book, Josh.
That's like 4 pages of an instruction book.
No, Super Nintendo had good instruction books, but so a freaking instruction book, $74. I don't know what math you add from instruction book. Like, I laughed when I seen how expensive this was. I was like, I got to get all the information I can. So an instruction book, an instruction manual is $73. How much is a loose card?
What?
I don't care if you say $10,000. It's not going to be any more foolish than saying $20 without.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I looked this up when we drew this game, and I was trying to keep from laughing out loud because it's like, I'm going to price chart this, and I did not want you to know how. I was over there just like cracking up just as much I was over the manga. Yeah, like, Josh ain't going to know what the hell this is worth.
Oh God. Okay. Fuck. If the fucking user manual instruction guide is $73, the cart, I'm gonna say $280.
That's a good damn guess. What I seen on eBay. Now eBay,
sometimes you can't trust them.
I can't trust them because there was some that sold for $20, and I know they had to be repro carts, even though they didn't say they were repro carts.
Yeah.
So it literally went from $20 to like the most reputable one I seen sold for $199. What price charting had it was at $254.99. I trust price charting on this.
Yeah.
Call it $200 to $300 cart, $200 to $250.
Yeah.
Now there was some that sold for like $299, but you have so many fakes that are on there, which aren't necessarily advertised as fakes, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm fine if you tell me I like this game is good. If you told me I can buy this game for $250, or I can buy a repro cart for $10. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You do you, but don't try to sell a cart for $20 without saying this is a reproduction cart, and you can't do it because eBay's going to take your listing down.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like there's probably several cartridges, just like anything else that's super expensive. There's probably a lot of repros. I would be very cautious. I would buy this for a decent price and enjoy the game to be able to play it. But the first thing I do when I come home is I'd unscrew it and I'd look to see what.
You'd have to check. You would have to check it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a complete in box, Josh. So just so you know, a manual's $73.
Yeah,
just the box, not even with the manual, just the cardboard box that goes around it. It's $347.73.
Just the box.
So we're talking complete in box. Now, I'm not going to influence you one way or another, but we're saying price charting says, hey, it's $254. And price charting eBay was pretty close on this one. Price charting says cart's $254 and manual's $73. So I mean, just doing dumb math, let's add that to that. That'd be what, $325 roughly?
Yeah, roughly.
The box is $347.73.
So you're already up to almost $700.
Right. Do you think $700 would be what a complete inbox is? I don't know.
No, because eBay's fucking stupid. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to add $300 more to it. I'm going to say $10,000.
You're high.
I'm high.
You're high.
Okay.
Maybe I'm tricking you over here.
I feel a little better. I'm going to call it $800.
708.13. So I think if you add it all together, it's pretty much there.
Okay, I accept that.
eBay, I seen some. Now, people were calling it complete. There was a lot of inserts in this, it seemed like. To me, I'm fine just getting the box, getting the instruction manual, getting the cart.
Getting the cart.
There was a lot of people calling that complete. That technically isn't complete.
Because you got the insert, you got the
registration, you had like Nintendo Power or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I seen on eBay, there wasn't a whole lot, but I seen some as low as $650, some as high as $750. So,
okay.
708, you're probably right in there. 650, 700. A new game.
Your soul and your left testicle.
Probably both testicles. So we're talking, they'll call it $710. A new copy. Now, I didn't have any on eBay. I'm
my normal math is to multiply it by 4.
Okay.
So that would put that at $2,800.
You're high.
I'm gonna call it 1,500.
You're low. You were probably as significantly high as you are low. You're Goldilocks, where's just right.
Okay, so then I'm gonna call it right there at 1,900.
$2,266. That's a lot of damn money.
That's a lot of money.
So, Josh, I have to ask you. I've got this cartridge here, where I give you $125.
I'm taking the money. Like, I'm sorry, but
this is a good game. I do not think it's $250.
No,
good. Like, I kind
of.
of.
If I was a collector, I'm keeping it, but I'm not a collector.
If I seen this game and it was $20 and I thought it was a repro, I'd still buy it for $20 just for that. If I bought this game and I got it for $20 and it was a legit copy, I would not be upset. I would probably keep it because there's far worse games that suck that cost as much, if not more.
I'm selling it. I'm coming to you and saying, George, you can either buy it or sell it. Which one you want to do, buddy?
Well, it's different when you say that. If you say, "Hey, here's a $250 cart, you give me $125," or not, I don't know. That's a lot of money. Collector part, I think I'd keep the cart. If I kept the cart, I wouldn't tell my wife. That's what would happen. I would not tell her the pricing of the cart. I don't think I could spend over $100.
You put it in the will. By the way. This is worth X amount.
You know I'm cheap, and I don't mind picking it up for cheap, and it's a matter of selling it. But if you said, hey, I had to buy it, and I bought it for half price at $125, I don't think I could pull the trigger to buy it. I don't. There ain't a whole lot of games I could buy for $125. Yeah. So, what do you think was more amazing, the price charting, the speed run, or your fun facts?
Dude, it's the price charting.
I figured you would enjoy the manual being $73.
That's fucking ridiculous.
So I'm breaking out our list here, Josh. We got to rank this bitch. Space Megaforce. This is going to be one of the interestings when we wrap up this season in 2 more episodes of where it ends up. It's really going to be entertaining in here because I'm not sure where you're going to put it. I know where I'm putting it.
I know where I'm putting it.
So
I already know.
So for whatever reason, we've did 7 games this season, and we are 100% on board. So both of us have Mega Man X2. There's no argument. That's the best game that we've played out of this 7. Fievel Goes West, NBA Live 95, Dirt Track FX, Vortex, Hit the Ice, and Kaka Boom Boom Super Strike Eagle. I'm writing down over here where I'm ranking it, and you write yourself where. You tell me. Where are you ranking it, Josh? Do you need to talk through it, or do you want me to talk through where I'm putting it?
No, I know where I'm putting it. I already know where I'm putting this.
You better not put it in the same damn spot.
I don't know. I might, but I know where I'm putting it.
Where are you putting it?
I'm putting it at number 2.
It's number 2 for me as well. Son of a bitch. I would love to tell you you're wrong, but you are not. I do think it is unique because we ain't played a game like this yet.
True. And what they done great.
I will say that this game does not hold Mega Man X2's jockstrap. But is it a bad game? Absolutely not. Fievel was a pretty good game. And my biggest dig on Fievel was it wasn't... We played Mickey and Minnie's
Magical Circus.
So that was my biggest dig on Fievel. or Feifel, whatever the hell his name is.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, if we would have played that,
I wrote Super Strike Eagle as number 2.
No, you do not write Caw Boom Boom as number 2, but it's Super Megaforce.
It's Space Megaforce.
Space Megaforce. But one of my things about Feifel Goes West is I remember it was a fun game. It was a platform shooter game. It was entertaining. My biggest hang up on it was how much that damn game cost. I still remember. It was like almost...
I think it was like $40 cartridge, $70. I can't remember what it was. It was more expensive than you would think it would be. And Mickey and Minnie was a far superior game.
Yeah.
That way,
yeah, it was ridiculous how much that game was worth. But no, this game here by far is better than Feifel. And, I mean...
Now, when we put it into the other 20 games, it'll be interesting. I mean, Mega Man's going to be... I have a feeling that Mega Man X2 is going to be either number 1 or number 2 on our list. We've not had a lot of really great games. I would put this in as a great game. I don't know. Would you think it's a top 100 game for you? I don't know.
I mean, I got to play a lot of them, but at the rate that it is right now, absolutely.
I would think that it has a shot of it. I don't know if it is. I wouldn't be like SNES drunk and say it's a top 25. It's not that type of game for me. But it is a good game. But I think Mega Man X2, we would argue, is either number 1 or number 2. And Space Megaforce doesn't hold Mega Man X2's jockstrap, but it's still really good. So it's going to be kind of interesting, especially where we've played, 4 games at the bottom that were pretty poor.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited. I don't know where I'm going to put Mega Man X2 or any of the other games, but I sure as hell don't know where Space Megaforce is going to be. Maybe is it going to be on Mount Rushmore after 30 games? Maybe. I don't know.
It's a possibility.
So, just sitting here thinking, playing devil's advocate, is it better than Star Fox? It's 2 different games.
Yeah.
I've got more of a sentimental attachment with Star Fox, but yeah, I don't know. Is it even in the top 200 games by the time we do this? I don't know.
Yeah, there's no telling. But like I said, as at the caliber that we're playing these games, and just from the childhood memories of all the games that I played, I would say it's close to I say it's in the top 100 for me.
So we could say, hey, we've played 2 airplane games: Space Megaforce and Super Strike Eagle.
Played 2 Capcom games: Mega Man and Feifel.
What's better though? Caw Boom Boom or Space Megaforce?
Space Megaforce.
By far.
By far.
There you are, apples and oranges. All right, well, I guess we've been rambling on enough. I had fun with it. I did enjoy beating it. I thought at one point that there was a chance I wasn't going to beat it, but I just persevered. I think probably a lot of people know about this game. This one was lost on me. But I'm pleasantly surprised that we played this one. So we got 2 more episodes. We're going to wrap up the season, Josh.
Yeah, and here's the thing is... last week we went the way this season has worked. We've got 2 Capcom, 2 Sports, 2 FX, and 2 Flight. What other 2 games could we get back to back?
The only thing that I could think, if you're going to go by the rule of 2s, it's going to be another sports game.
You think? It can't be because we already got 2 sports games.
Oh, you're right. No, I'm sorry. You're right. God, Hit the Ice was bad. I played it again last night.
Why?
I'm like, it can't be that bad. It was that bad. It was.
My next 2 is it's got to be an RPG. It has to be, right? Or a trivia?
I'm going with the game that contains an alien. I don't know what that's going to be. Is it aliens? I don't know. We're gonna play a game. Let's just do it like this. Not an alien. We're gonna play a game that has an outer space tie. That's what I'm going to go. An
outer space theme?
Yes, a theme. Not just necessarily a level. It's going to be something aliens, something fighting in space.
I know what I'm going with.
What are you going with?
Stage Fighter.
Stage Fighter.
Yeah. Platform fighting, side-scrolling fighter.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct.
I'll just give you fighter genre of Stage Fighter. And I'm going to go with something to do with space.
Okay.
We're going to find out in about 3 minutes.
Let's do this.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.